A crack formed across the fabric of reality. Silent, impossible, and glowing with power no world was prepared to understand. But Wade Wilson wasn't thinking about cosmic implications when the experimental device exploded in his face. He was mostly thinking about tacos. "Oh, come on!" Deadpool screamed as the black market weapons facility detonated around him. "I literally just wanted the space gun. Why does everything I touch turn into a Michael Bay film?" The device, some kind of crystalline doohickey that the arms dealer swore was totally not alien tech, bro, pulsed with energy that tasted like purple and smelled like regret. Reality bent, space folded, and Wade Wilson, the Merc with a mouth, got sucked into a swirling vortex that looked suspiciously like a sphincter made of lightning. "If this is how I meet God, I'm asking for a refund." 28 levels beneath Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado, the Stargate roared to life without authorization. Klaxons shrieked. Red emergency lights painted the embarkation room in hellish crimson. Unscheduled off-world activation. Sergeant Walter Harriman's voice cracked over the intercom. Airmen scrambled to defensive positions, P-90 submachine guns trained on the event horizon. The gate's shimmering vertical puddle rippled with unstable energy, colors that shouldn't exist bleeding through from somewhere else. Major General George Hammond burst onto the control room balcony. "Close the iris!" "Sir, iris won't engage. The wormhole's frequency it's not in our database. It's not even from our database. Get SG-1 to the embarkation room now." The Stargate buckled. Energy sparked. And then something that definitely wasn't supposed to come through a wormhole came through the wormhole. Deadpool exploded from the event horizon like a red and black missile, somersaulted through the air, crashed through a Marine's defensive position, bounced off a concrete wall, and landed in a perfect three-point superhero pose. "Nailed it!" He looked up at the dozens of automatic weapons pointed at his face. "Oh, hi, is this the afterlife? Because I was promised 72 virgins and all I see are angry dudes with guns. False advertising, am I right?" "Freeze! Hands in the air!" Deadpool slowly raised his hands. "Okay, first, love the ambiance. Very Cold War bunker meets sci-fi convention. Second," he glanced at the Stargate behind him, still shimmering with unstable energy. "Is that thing supposed to look like a giant chrome butthole, or is that just me? What are you? Identify yourself." "Wow, rude. I'm Deadpool. Deadpool the mercenary. Deadpool the unkillable. Deadpool the... Wait, you guys don't know who I am, do you?" He looked directly at nothing, at you, at the fourth wall. "Oh man, I'm in a crossover episode. Nobody tell Marvel's lawyers." Colonel Jack O'Neill stormed into the embarkation room, Major Samantha Carter and Teal'c flanking him. Daniel Jackson brought up the rear, already reaching for his glasses like they'd help him understand this. "Who the hell are you?" O'Neill demanded, raising his Beretta. Deadpool cocked his head. "Ooh, you're the snarky one. I can tell by your bone structure and general aura of, I'm too old for this crap. We're gonna be best friends." Carter, analysis. Sam was already scanning Deadpool with a handheld device. "Sir, he's human, biologically. But his cellular structure is, God, it's regenerating faster than I can scan it. Every cell is in constant flux. I've never seen anything like this." "Indeed," Teal'c rumbled, staff weapon trained and ready. "He does not bear the mark of Apophis or any system lord I recognize. That's because I'm not from here. Tall, dark, and gold-tattooed." Deadpool slowly stood. "See, I was minding my own business, robbing a completely legitimate arms dealer when I touched a glowy thing and, whoops, dimensional travel, which, honestly, still not the weirdest Tuesday I've had." Daniel stepped forward cautiously. "Dimensional travel, that's not. The Stargate doesn't work that way. It connects points in space, not across dimensions." "Well, somebody forgot to tell the chrome butthole because here I am." An airman's radio crackled. General Hammond, we have a problem. The gate's locked open. We can't shut it down. Everyone's eyes snapped to the Stargate. The event horizon churned violently, colors bleeding into each other like reality was having a stroke. "Carter," O'Neill barked. "The wormhole's destabilizing, sir. Whatever came through with him created a feedback loop. If it collapses wrong, it could..." The Stargate shrieked. And then something else came through. A Jaffa warrior emerged, staff weapon raised, serpent helmet gleaming. Then another, then 5 more. They wore the mark of Baal, their armor polished to mirror brightness. "Jaffa! Kree! Oh, come on!" Deadpool threw his hands up. "Space Egyptians! Really? We're doing Space Egyptians!" Gunfire erupted. P-90s chattered. Staff weapons discharged plasma bolts that exploded against concrete. Deadpool dove behind a crate as the embarkation room transformed into a war zone. "Carter, shut that gate down!" O'Neill fired controlled bursts, dropping a Jaffa. "I'm trying, sir!" Teal'c fought with brutal efficiency, staff weapon discharging in precise shots. Daniel scrambled for cover, returning fire with his Beretta. Deadpool peeked over his crate. "Okay, Wade. New universe. Probably no tacos. Definitely no chimichangas. But there are bad guys and bullets, so at least some things are universal." He drew his katanas. "Let's make new friends." A Jaffa charged his position. Deadpool rolled under the staff weapon blast, came up slashing, his blade carved through armor and flesh in one fluid motion. Blood sprayed. The Jaffa dropped. "Holy! Who is this guy?" O'Neill shouted. "Someone who's really good at violence." Deadpool decapitated another Jaffa, kicked the body into a third. "Also, I should mention, I'm functionally immortal, so don't worry about me, worry about them." He pointed both katanas at the Stargate as a full Jaffa strike team poured through. "This is Baal's mark," Teal'c growled. "He sends his personal guard. Great. Love it. Who's Baal? Is he like their boss? Their space pharaoh? Their cosmic daddy?" A staff blast hit Deadpool square in the shoulder. His arm exploded in a spray of blood and meat. Everyone froze. Deadpool looked at his mangled shoulder. "Huh, that's new. Usually takes at least 3 dates before someone blows my arm off." They watched in horror as flesh regrew, muscle knitting together, bone reconstructing. In 15 seconds, his arm was whole. "What the hell?" O'Neill breathed. Deadpool rotated his shoulder. "Oh right, should have led with that. I'm unkillable. Healing factor. Think Wolverine, but with better fashion sense and emotional problems." He grinned behind his mask. "So, who wants to see me test it?" He charged into the Jaffa formation, katanas singing. The last Jaffa fell with Deadpool's katana through his throat. Silence crashed over the embarkation room, broken only by the Stargate's violent shimmer and the clatter of spent brass casings rolling across blood-slicked concrete. Deadpool flicked gore off his blades. "So, who's up for shawarma? I know a place. Oh wait, wrong universe, damn it." 20 guns immediately trained on him. "Stand down," O'Neill commanded. "Nobody shoots the whatever he is until we figure out what the hell just happened." Sam was already at a control panel, fingers flying. "Sir, the wormhole's stabilizing. Whatever destabilized it is, gone." The feedback loop collapsed when the last Jaffa came through. "Shut it down." The Stargate disengaged with a thunderous whomp. The event horizon vanished. Silence returned, heavier now, weighted with questions and corpses. Hammond's voice crackled over the intercom. "Colonel O'Neill, containment teams are en route. Secure the individual." "Copy that, sir." O'Neill turned to Deadpool, weapons steady. "You, weapons down. Hands behind your head. You're coming with us." "Ooh, kinky. But I don't put out on the first apocalypse." Deadpool sheathed his katanas anyway. "Although I gotta say, your security system needs work. Those space cosplayers walked right in." "Jaffa, Daniel corrected, stepping closer cautiously. They're Jaffa, warriors implanted with a Goa'uld symbiote that... Space parasites. Got it. Deadpool tapped his mask. Big snake thing in the belly, glowy eyes when they're feeling spicy. Serve false gods who think they're hot stuff. I watch TV. Well, I would watch TV if your universe had TV with me in it. Teal'c's eyes narrowed. You know of the Goa'uld. I know you've got a tummy worm and a serious case of resting intimidation face. Also, love the gold forehead tat. Very, I shop at Hot Topic but make it ancient alien. Teal'c is with US, O'Neill snapped. And you're about 2 seconds from getting tranquilized. Been there. Doesn't work. My healing factor metabolizes sedatives faster than college kids metabolize bad decisions. Security teams flooded the embarkation room, establishing a perimeter. Deadpool was surrounded by 40 soldiers, every weapon pointed at center mass. Well, this is a party, he waved. Hi everyone, I'm Deadpool. I do murder for money and I'm great at parties. Also, I literally can't die, so shooting me is just wasteful ammo expenditure. Sir, medical teams are requesting biological samples, an airman reported. Absolutely not, Deadpool said cheerfully. My blood is my blood. Well, technically it's everywhere now, but still. No touchy. Hammond descended the control room stairs, flanked by armed MPs. The general was shorter than Deadpool expected, but radiated authority that made drill sergeants look cuddly. I'm Major General George Hammond, commanding officer of Stargate Command. You've entered a classified military facility through unauthorized means, engaged in lethal combat, and demonstrated abilities that... He gestured at the puddle of regenerating blood. Defy every law of biology we understand. Start talking. Deadpool snapped a salute. Deadpool, no rank because I got kicked out of the Special Forces for being too special and not enough forces. Originally from New York, currently from an alternate reality, apparently. I touched a weird crystal thing, got sucked through your chrome butthole. It's called a Stargate, Daniel interrupted. I know what it's called, Professor Glasses. I'm being disrespectful because I'm processing trauma through humor. It's called deflection. Very healthy. He looked at Hammond. Look, I don't know how I got here. I don't know why space Egyptians followed me. And I definitely don't know why your giant ring of doom decided to connect to whatever dimension-hopping hellscape I fell through. But here's what I do know. Those gold-armored dudes, they wanted me alive. Sam looked up sharply. What makes you say that? Because... Deadpool pointed at scorch marks on the walls. Staff weapons at that range should have vaporized me 15 times. But they were aiming for disabling shots. Shoulders, legs, non-vital areas. Well, non-vital for normal people. For me, everywhere's non-vital. He paused. Except my dignity. That died years ago. O'Neill exchanged glances with Teal'c. He's right. Baal's Jaffa are trained for precision kills, if they were trying to capture him. Then Baal knows about him already, Sam finished. But how? He just got here. Guys? Deadpool raised a hand. Quick question. Who's Baal and why does he sound like someone's edgy D&D character? System Lord, Teal'c rumbled. Among the most cunning and ruthless of the Goa'uld. He commands vast armies and an explosion rocked the facility. Emergency lights strobed, alarms shrieked a different pattern. Higher, more urgent. Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Level 19! Repeat, level 19! Hammond grabbed his radio. Report! Sir, we've got hostiles in the lower levels. They came through the... Jesus Christ, they just appeared. No gate activation, no warning, they just... Gunfire erupted over the radio. Screaming. Then static. Asgard transport beams, Sam breathed. Baal has Asgard technology. How many? O'Neill was already moving, checking his P90. Estimate 24 Jaffa, sir. They're cutting through security teams, moving toward... The airman's voice went shrill with panic. They're heading for the embarkation room. Everyone turned to look at Deadpool. Okay, he said slowly. I'm starting to think I'm popular here. Like, really popular. Did I win a contest? Am I space famous? Because usually people wait at least a week before trying to kidnap me. They want your regeneration, Daniel said, horrified realization dawning. If Goa'uld could replicate your healing factor, give it to his Jaffa. He'd have an immortal army, O'Neill finished. Well, that sounds bad. Deadpool drew his katanas again. Quick vote. We fighting or fleeing? Because I'm good either way, but I need to know for coordination purposes. Teal'c chambered a staff weapon charge. We fight. Democracy in action. I love it. Deadpool bounced on his heels as heavy footsteps thundered down the corridor. Okay, ground rules for the newbies. I'll take point because bullets don't matter. You guys shoot anyone who's not the handsome devil in red. And if anyone sees tacos, the corridor doors exploded inward. Jaffa warriors poured through, staff weapons blazing. Deadpool charged into the plasma fire, laughing. New universe, same chaos, let's go! The planet was called P3X888, and it was having a very bad day. 3 days had passed since Goa'uld's forces attacked Stargate Command. 3 days of interrogations, medical scans Deadpool refused to cooperate with, and Hammond debating whether to classify him as an asset or a containment breach. The compromise: attach him to SG-1 for an off-world recon mission. Because that's not a terrible idea, O'Neill had muttered. Now they stood in an alien marketplace that smelled like spices Wade couldn't identify and looked like someone had mixed ancient Babylon with a sci-fi flea market. Locals in rough-spun clothing haggled over dried meats and crystalline tech. The Stargate stood on a hill behind them, silent and waiting. So let me get this straight, Deadpool said, examining a vendor's collection of suspiciously glowing fruits. You guys just walk through magic space rings to different planets, like it's space Uber? The Stargate creates stable wormholes through subspace, Sam explained, scanning the marketplace with her tablet. It's not magic, it's advanced technology sufficiently sophisticated appears as magic. Yeah, Clark's third law I read. Deadpool picked up a fruit. Is this one gonna make me trip balls or give me superpowers? Because I'm already at max capacity for both. A vendor slapped his hand. No touch. Rude! Daniel was negotiating with a local elder, his linguistic skills smoothing over cultural barriers. Teal'c maintained a perimeter, staff weapon concealed but ready. O'Neill watched Deadpool like a babysitter who'd already accepted the house would burn down. Why am I here again? Deadpool asked. Because Goa'uld is specifically hunting you, O'Neill replied. And we need to know why he's so damn interested. Intel suggests he's been raiding planets, looking for something. Maybe that something is my devastatingly handsome face, your freakish inability to die. Also, yes. Sam's tablet chirped. Colonel, I'm picking up Naquata signatures. Multiple sources. Close. Teal'c stiffened. Jaffa. The marketplace erupted in screams. Staff weapons discharged from 3 rooftops simultaneously. Plasma bolts carved through stalls, igniting fabrics, vaporizing merchandise. Civilians scattered like startled birds. Contact! O'Neill's P-90 came up. Defensive positions. 12 Jaffa warriors descended on repelling lines, serpent helmets gleaming in the alien sun. They moved with military precision, establishing a kill box around SG-1's position. Kree, Tori, surrender the immortal. Oh good, they know my government name, Deadpool said, drawing his katanas. Should I be flattered or concerned? A staff weapon blast answered, striking Deadpool in the chest. The energy bolt punched clean through his sternum, exiting his back in a spray of blood and scorched tissue. He staggered, looked down at the smoking hole. Okay. Ow. That's new pain. Spicy pain. Don't love it. Daniel stared in horror as Deadpool's chest cavity visibly regenerated. Ribs reformed. Lung tissue knitted together. Skin sealed over cauterized flesh. 15 seconds. Maybe 20. Holy. Yeah, body horror. Very upsetting. Can we focus? Deadpool charged the nearest Jaffa. The marketplace became a war zone. O'Neill's P-90 chattered in controlled bursts. Teal'c fired his staff weapon with devastating accuracy, dropping Jaffa with headshots. Sam threw a flashbang, used the distraction to flank, double-tapped a warrior through his armor gap. And Deadpool became a crimson whirlwind. He moved like violence choreographed by a madman. Katana met staff weapon, blade redirecting plasma bolt into another Jaffa's face. Spin, slash, a throat opened, duck, weave, second blade punching through eye slit. A staff blast took off his arm at the elbow. He caught it with his remaining hand, beat a Jaffa to death with his own severed limb while it regenerated. "This is therapeutic," he screamed, laughing. "I should get paid for therapy." "He's insane!" Daniel yelled, taking cover behind an overturned cart. "Insane or not, he's effective." Sam dropped another Jaffa. "Colonel, we're getting flanked." More Jaffa poured from side streets. 20 became 30. Energy weapons lit the marketplace like a disco from hell. O'Neill keyed his radio. "Hammond, we need immediate extraction. We're outnumbered and—" A staff blast struck near Daniel. Stone exploded. Shrapnel shredded his shoulder. He went down hard, screaming. "Daniel!" Sam sprinted toward him. 3 Jaffa intercepted, staff weapons charging for kill shots. Deadpool was there first. He tackled Sam out of the blast zone, rolled, came up throwing. A knife. Where'd he get a knife? Buried itself in a Jaffa's throat. Second katana flew end over end, taking another through the faceplate. Third, Jaffa raised his weapon. Teal'c's staff blast vaporized his head. "You have my gratitude, Deadpool of Earth." "We're not doing names. There's no time for names." O'Neill reached Daniel, applied pressure to the wound. "Carter, get that DHD dialed now." Sam was already running for the Stargate, fingers flying over the crystal interface. Symbols locked. The gate roared to life, event horizon exploding outward. "Go, go, go!" They ran. Deadpool provided rear guard, katanas singing. A staff blast took his leg off at the knee. He hopped on one foot while it regrew, still fighting. Another bolt burned through his abdomen. He kept moving, intestines regenerating as he ran. "This is fine! Everything's fine! Just a light disemboweling!" Teal'c carried Daniel. Sam laid covering fire. O'Neill hit the event horizon first, P-90 still barking backward. Deadpool was last through, several Jaffa in pursuit. They tumbled into SGC's embarkation room in a heap of blood, burns, and adrenaline. The iris snapped shut behind them, cutting off a staff blast that would have followed them home. Medical teams swarmed Daniel. Hammond appeared, face carved from granite. "Sir," O'Neill reported between gasps. "Baal's forces knew we were there. They were waiting. This wasn't random. They tracked us." Deadpool lay on the ramp, smoking, half his body still regenerating. He gave a thumbs up. "Good news. I made friends. Bad news. They want to cut me open and see what makes me tick. So, you know, Tuesday." Sam was running scans, her expression darkening. "Sir, I'm detecting a subdermal tracker. It's..." She looked at Deadpool. "It's in you. Has been since the first attack. Baal's been tracking you this entire time." Deadpool sat up, half his face still reforming. "Well, that's inconvenient." An alarm shrieked. Different pattern, deeper, more urgent. "Sir," an airman's voice cracked with panic. "Multiple Hartak-class vessels entering Earth orbit. Estimate 4 motherships. Oh God, they're everywhere." Hammond's face went pale. "Battle stations. This is not a drill." Deadpool stood, fully healed, covered in his own dried blood. "Okay," he said quietly. "Now, I'm mad." The briefing room hummed with tension thick enough to cut with a katana. Deadpool knew because he'd tried, twice. "Stop that," O'Neill snapped. "I'm stress testing the furniture. Very important." On the projection screen, 4 Hatak motherships hung in Earth's orbit like golden vultures. Each pyramid-shaped vessel bristled with weapons capable of glassing continents. Hammond stood at the head of the table, jaw tight enough to crack walnuts. "Baal is demanding we surrender the immortal human within 6 hours, or he begins orbital bombardment." Hammond's voice was granite, starting with major population centers. "So he's subtle," Deadpool said. "I like that in a space tyrant." "This is your fault." A man Deadpool hadn't met yet slammed his hand on the table. Expensive suit, politician's smile currently replaced with fury. "You brought this to our doorstep." "And you are?" Deadpool asked pleasantly. "Colonel Mayborn, NID, and I'm recommending we hand you over before millions die." "NID," Sam said coldly, "doesn't have authority here." "We have authority anywhere national security is threatened." Deadpool leaned back, boots on the table. "Let me get this straight. Mayborn with a stick up his ass. You want to gift-wrap me for the snake-headed space fascist who'll definitely use my healing factor to create an unkillable army that'll enslave the galaxy? That's your plan? That's the plan we're going with? Better than letting Earth burn." "Colonel Mayborn," Hammond said with Arctic calm, "you're dismissed." "General, you're making a..." "Dismissed." Mayborn left, radiating bureaucratic rage. The door sealed behind him with a satisfying hiss. Teal'c spoke, voice measured. "Baal is not known for mercy. Even if we surrender Deadpool, he will likely attack regardless. It is his nature." "Exactly." Sam pulled up tactical displays. "Baal's entire strategy revolves around deception. He's used truces to position forces, peace talks to plant spies. Giving him Deadpool doesn't save Earth. It just gives him exactly what he wants and a reason to gloat before he attacks anyway." "So we fight," O'Neill said. "Question is how?" "With style and excessive violence," Deadpool offered. "Also explosions. I'm very pro-explosion." Daniel, arm bandaged but conscious, leaned forward. "Baal's obsession with you goes beyond simple military advantage. The Goa'uld believe themselves gods. Your immortality threatens that narrative. You're proof that their divine power isn't unique. So he wants to kill me to prove he's godlier, or dissect you to steal what makes you special." Again, really feeling the love here. An airman burst through the door. "General, we're getting a transmission. It's Baal. He's demanding to speak with the Red Fool." Everyone looked at Deadpool. "Ooh, I'm the Red Fool. That's gonna be my wrestler name." He stood, stretched. "Let's talk to Space Daddy." The communication room's main screen flickered to life. Baal materialized, humanoid, handsome in that I'd absolutely murder you but make it charismatic way, wearing ornate armor that probably cost more than a small nation's GDP. His eyes glowed with symbiote power. Ah, the immortal. Baal's smile was cobra smooth. "I am Baal. You will have heard of me." "Nope," Deadpool waved. "But I have heard of you, which is different. Word is, you're compensating for something with those big ships. Trouble in the Godhood department?" Baal's smile didn't falter. "Amusing. I enjoy toys that entertain before they break. See, here's the thing, B-Man. Can I call you B-Man? I'm gonna call you B-Man." Deadpool leaned toward the screen. "I don't break. I've been shot, stabbed, exploded, dissolved, crushed, burned, frozen, and once I was eaten by a shark. The shark died of indigestion. So your whole 'I'm gonna dissect you' plan. Cute, but I've dated scarier. Your bravado masks fear. My bravado masks ADHD and childhood trauma. Get it right." O'Neill stepped into frame. "Baal, you want to fight? We'll give you one, but you're not getting him. Colonel O'Neill, how expected. Baal's eyes shifted, calculating. I offer you a bargain. Give me the immortal, and I spare your world. Refuse, and I demonstrate why I am called the God of 1,000 dominions. Counter offer, Deadpool said. You screw off back to whatever golden toilet you squat on, and I don't spend the next month finding creative ways to blow up your motherships. Because, buddy, I've got nothing but time and a complete disregard for physics. Baal laughed, genuinely laughed. You believe yourself a threat to me? I believe I'm unkillable, unpredictable, and extremely annoying. Those three things combined have toppled better villains than you. Also, Deadpool pulled out a phone. Is this thing on? Can you see this? He held up the subdermal tracker Sam had surgically removed, small, crystalline, pulsing with faint energy. Looking for this? Your little GPS chip? Yeah, we found it. Know what that means? Deadpool crushed it between his fingers. It means you're operating blind now, B-Dog. No more tracking, no more easy targets. Just me, my katanas, and a really bad attitude. Baal's smile vanished. You dare? I dare extensively. It's kind of my thing. The Goa'uld leaned forward, rage flickering behind his eyes. I will peel your flesh from your bones while you regenerate. I will discover every secret your biology holds. And when I am finished, I will create an army of immortals who worship me as their god. Your suffering will birth my ascension. Wow, therapy. You need so much therapy. You have 4 hours. Surrender, or your world burns. The screen went dark. Silence settled over the room like fallout. Well, Deadpool said cheerfully, that went great. Really built rapport. I think he likes me. He's going to kill billions to get to you, Daniel said quietly. Deadpool's tone shifted, serious, cold, the voice beneath the jokes. Then we make sure he doesn't get the chance. He turned to Hammond. General, I'm not great at the whole military protocol thing, but I am great at infiltration, sabotage, and making powerful people regret their life choices. So here's what I'm thinking. He pointed at the display showing Baal's flagship. We don't wait for him to attack Earth. We take the fight to him. We board his mothership, blow it to hell, and send a message to every snake-headed god wannabe in this galaxy. Earth doesn't surrender. Earth doesn't kneel. And Earth definitely doesn't hand over the unkillable Merc with a mouth. O'Neill studied him. That's a suicide mission. Good thing I can't die then. The Teal'c cargo ship, stolen from a Goa'uld supply depot 3 months prior, shuddered as it approached Baal's flagship. Inside the cramped hold, SG-1 and Deadpool prepared for what O'Neill kept calling the stupidest plan I've ever agreed to. I've had worse, Deadpool said, checking his katanas. Both blades gleamed in the dim light, freshly sharpened on a whetstone he'd borrowed, stolen from the armory. You've been in this universe for 4 days, Sam said, calibrating her scanner. And yet, I'm already a bad influence. Character growth. The plan was mathematically insane. Use the cargo ship's Goa'uld transponder codes to dock with Baal's Hatak, infiltrate the ship's lower levels, plant C4 charges on critical power conduits, and escape before the entire vessel turned into the galaxy's most expensive firework. Simple, Deadpool had said during the briefing. Suicidal, Hammond had corrected. Tomato, tomato. Teal'c piloted with Jaffa precision, navigating through the debris field surrounding the massive pyramid ship. Weapon placements tracked their approach, but didn't fire. The transponder was working. We're being hailed, Teal'c announced. A Jaffa's voice crackled over comms, speaking Goa'uld. Teal'c responded in kind, voice steady, authoritative. The ancient language flowed like gravel and honey, harsh consonants, rolling vowels. Deadpool leaned toward Daniel. What's he saying? Basically, we're delivering supplies. Don't shoot us. Poetry. The Jaffa bought it. The docking bay's energy shield shimmered, allowing passage. The Teal'c glided through, settling on a landing platform surrounded by death gliders and troop transports. Okay, O'Neill checked his P90. We've got maybe 30 minutes before someone realizes we're not supposed to be here. Carter, you're on explosives. Teal'c, you're guiding us to the power core. Daniel, stay with Carter. And you? He jabbed a finger at Deadpool. Try not to die too loudly. No promises. The cargo ramp lowered. The docking bay was massive. Golden walls inscribed with hieroglyphs, Jaffa patrols moving in synchronized formations, the low hum of alien technology vibrating through metal. They moved fast. Teal'c led them through maintenance corridors that smelled like ozone and ancient stone. The Hatak's interior was a maze of contradictions. Advanced tech embedded in architecture that screamed ancient Egypt. Crystal conduits pulsing with energy alongside hieroglyphic controls. This is what happens when you let interior decorators do starship design, Deadpool whispered. No cohesive aesthetic. A patrol rounded the corner. 4 Jaffa, staff weapons ready. Kree, identify! Teal'c's staff weapon discharged. Headshot. The Jaffa dropped. O'Neill's P90 chattered, dropping 2 more in controlled bursts. Deadpool lunged at the 4th, katana punching through the warrior's throat before he could raise his weapon. Clear! O'Neill hissed. Move! They dragged bodies into a side chamber, continued deeper. Sam's scanner guided them through the labyrinthine corridors, tracking Naquada signatures that indicated power conduits. There! Sam pointed at a massive chamber ahead. That's the primary power distribution node. If we blow that, we cascade through the entire ship's... An alarm shrieked. Red light flooded the corridors. Goa'uld voices echoed through internal comms, harsh and urgent. They know we're here, Daniel breathed. Doesn't matter. Sam was already planting charges, fingers flying over the C4 blocks. I need 3 minutes. You've got 2. O'Neill took position at the corridor entrance, P90 aimed. Teal'c covered the opposite direction. Heavy footsteps, dozens of them, growing closer. Guys? Deadpool stared down a corridor that seemed to stretch forever, golden and ominous. I think we're about to have company. Jaffa poured from 3 directions simultaneously. 20, 30, 40 warriors in full armor, staff weapons raised, serpent helmets gleaming. Jaffa, Kree, surrender or die. Option C! Deadpool charged straight into the formation. Staff blasts filled the corridor with plasma fire. Energy bolts scorched Deadpool's chest, legs, arms, but he kept moving, regenerating through the onslaught. Katanas whirled in patterns too fast to follow. Jaffa fell in sprays of blood and shattered armor. O'Neill and Teal'c laid suppressing fire, dropping warriors who tried to flank, but more kept coming. The corridor became a meat grinder. A staff blast vaporized Deadpool's head. His body stumbled, headless, still swinging katanas on pure muscle memory. O'Neill watched in horror as the skull regenerated from the neck stump, bone, brain, tissue, skin, all reforming in 30 seconds. That's not possible, Daniel screamed. It's very possible! Deadpool's newly reformed mouth shouted. Super possible! Now shut up and shoot! Sam finished the last charge. We're good! Go, go, go! They ran. The facility shook as more Jaffa converged. Staff blasts carved chunks from walls. Deadpool took a blast that severed his leg at the hip. He hopped on 1 foot while it regrew, laughing maniacally. This is exercise cardio with consequences. Teal'c knew the ship's layout by heart, led them through maintenance shafts and service corridors that bypassed the main patrols. They were close, so close, when they hit the trap. The corridor sealed. Blast doors slammed down ahead and behind. Energy fields hummed to life, trapping them in a kill box. And Baal stepped from the shadows. He wasn't alone. 20 Jaffa lined the walls, weapons trained. But it was Baal who commanded attention. His presence filled the space like pressure before thunder. Colonel O'Neill, how predictable. Baal's smile was poison wrapped in silk. Did you truly believe I wouldn't anticipate this futile gesture? Worth a shot, O'Neill muttered, Baal's eyes fixed on Deadpool. And you, the immortal, I've watched you fight, studied your regeneration. Do you know how long I've waited for something like you? The Goa'uld have pursued ascension for millennia, but you're something better, something reproducible. I'm also something really annoying when people get all monologue-y, Deadpool said. Seriously, do all villains take the same community college course? Your humor masks fear. My humor masks boredom. Get to the point, Gold Pants. Baal raised a hand. A device materialized, crystalline, pulsing with energy that tasted wrong, felt wrong, made Deadpool's regeneration factor scream, warnings his brain couldn't process. This is Tok'ra technology, modified. It will suppress your cellular regeneration long enough for my scientists to vivisect you. You'll be conscious, aware, as they peel back every layer of what makes you, you. The device activated. Pain exploded through Deadpool's nervous system. His healing factor stuttered, slowed, stopped. A cut on his hand, from earlier, didn't close. Oh, Deadpool said quietly, that's not good. Baal smiled. Jaffa, take him. The holding cell was minimalist brutality. Metal walls inscribed with glowing hieroglyphs, zero furniture, and an energy field humming across the entrance that promised instant death to anyone stupid enough to touch it. Deadpool sat in the center, wrists and ankles bound with Goa'uld restraints that pulsed with the same suppression technology. His healing factor was gone. Actually gone. A bruise on his ribs from the capture hadn't faded. Blood crusted on his mask from a split lip that refused to close. This is fine, he muttered. Everything's fine. Just a light case of mortality. No big deal. The rest of SG-1 occupied adjacent cells, separated by energy barriers. O'Neill tested his restraints for the 40th time. Sam studied the suppression collar around her neck, mentally calculating power frequencies. Daniel sat quietly, thinking. Teal'c meditated, conserving strength. So, Deadpool called out, this is awkward. Usually by date 5 I at least know your favorite colors. Not the time, O'Neill snapped. It's always the time for emotional vulnerability, Jack. Can I call you Jack? We're imprisoned together, that's basically friendship. A door hissed open. A figure entered, humanoid, female, wearing robes that marked her as Goa'uld aristocracy. Her eyes glowed briefly, then faded to normal human brown. But it was her voice that made Deadpool freeze. Hello, Deadpool. That voice. He knew that voice. Different universe, same cadence, same tone that once whispered kindness when the world showed him none. Vanessa? The name came out broken. No. The woman stepped closer. I am Teal'c, lesser system lord in Baal's service. But this host, she touched her face. Her name was Vanessa Carlisle, taken from a world Baal conquered 2 years ago. She screams sometimes inside. When I let her, Deadpool's entire body went rigid. Get out of her. The Goa'uld do not surrender hosts willingly. Teal'c, Vanessa, whoever, circled his cell. Baal sent me because he thought it would amuse him, to use your emotional attachment as leverage. I will end you, Deadpool whispered. Rage carved each word from stone. I will find a way to kill you so thoroughly that you'll do nothing. She gestured at his suppression collar. You're mortal now, vulnerable, and Baal has plans for you, Sam spoke up. Why are you telling us this? Goa'uld don't monologue without purpose. Teal'c turned, studying Sam with predatory intelligence. Perceptive. You're correct, of course. She paused, something flickering behind those glowing eyes. Baal intends to dissect the immortal, But before that, he wants to offer you all a choice. Here it comes, O'Neill muttered. The Tok'ra have made contact with Goa'uld. They're proposing a trade. Kitesh's voice was clinical. They offer Deadpool safe passage from this universe, return to his dimension of origin, in exchange for detailed biological scans of his regenerative capabilities. Silence crashed through the cells. Daniel leaned forward. The Tok'ra would never. They oppose everything the Goa'uld represent. Why would they work with Goa'uld? Because they're pragmatic. Kitesh smiled without warmth. The Tok'ra resistance is failing. They need weapons. Your friend's healing factor, synthesized and distributed among their operatives, could turn the tide against the System Lords. They're willing to compromise principles for survival. That's not compromise, Sam said coldly. That's collaboration. Semantics. Deadpool stood slowly, restraints clinking. Let me make sure I understand. Space freedom fighters want to study me like a lab rat. Share my DNA with Goa'uld's science team. Also, they can create healing factor super soldiers. That's the offer. Partially. Goa'uld gets his scans. The Tok'ra gets synthesized serum. You get to go home. Kitesh's eyes met his. Everyone wins. Except the billions who'll die when Goa'uld's immortal army conquers the galaxy. Acceptable losses. To who? Kitesh stepped closer to the energy barrier. To anyone with strategic perspective. To those who understand that sometimes, to defeat monsters, you must become monstrous. Teal'c spoke, voice carrying the weight of experience. I have served false gods. I have seen what happens when power is pursued without honor. The path you describe leads only to darkness. And the path of resistance leads to extinction, Kitesh countered. The Tok'ra are dying. The free Jaffa are scattered. Earth hangs by a thread. This alliance, temporary though it may be, offers survival. At what cost? Daniel's voice shook with emotion. We'd be enabling genocide, making weapons that would enslave worlds. That's not survival, that's necessary. Kitesh turned back to Deadpool. Goa'uld has authorized me to sweeten the arrangement. Accept, and he returns your friends unharmed to Earth. Refuse, and he executes them one by one while you watch, powerless. O'Neill laughed. Actually laughed. You Goa'uld really love your ultimatums, don't you? Do this or everyone dies. Gets old. Because it works. Not this time. Deadpool's voice cut through the tension like his katanas. I'm not interested in your deal. The Tok'ra can go to hell. Goa'uld can go to double hell. And you... His eyes locked on Kitesh. You can tell whoever's inside that host, whoever Vanessa Carlyle was in this universe, that I'm sorry. Sorry she got caught in this. Sorry she's trapped. But I'm not sacrificing worlds to save her. Something flickered across Kitesh's face. Pain. Real, human pain. You remember her from your world. Every day, the Goa'uld's composure cracked. Just slightly. The host. She shows me memories. Your face. She remembers you, impossibly, from across dimensions. Soul recognition that transcends. Kitesh stopped, recomposed. Cold again. It doesn't matter. It does, Deadpool said softly. And deep down, whatever's left of her knows I'm right, knows this deal is poison. Kitesh stood motionless for long seconds, then turned sharply. Goa'uld will proceed with vivisection in 1 hour. You've made your choice. She walked to the door, paused. The host wants you to know, she's proud, that even mortal, you chose correctly. The door hissed shut. Deadpool slumped against the wall, the weight of the choice crushing down. You did the right thing, Sam said quietly. Doesn't feel right. O'Neill met his eyes across cells. Rarely does. That's how you know it matters. An explosion rocked the ship, distant, muffled, but unmistakable. Everyone tensed. "Was that?" Daniel started. Another explosion, closer. Alarms shrieked. Jaffa voices shouted commands in Goa'uld. Sam's eyes widened. "The charges, the C4 we planted, they weren't discovered. They're detonating." The lights flickered. Power surged, and the energy barriers holding their cells stable wavered, just for a second. But a second was enough. The ship shuddered violently. Metal groaned. Somewhere deep in the Hatak's superstructure, chain reactions cascaded through power conduits Sam had meticulously rigged to fail catastrophically. The energy barriers flickered again, longer this time. "Now!" O'Neill lunged at his restraints, leveraging body weight against weakened bonds. The suppression collar sparked, malfunctioned. He ripped it free, skin searing from feedback burns. Teal'c moved with Jaffa efficiency. His restraints were designed for humans, not for someone trained since childhood to escape Goa'uld imprisonment. He twisted, applied pressure to weak points, broke free, grabbed the faltering energy barrier's emitter, crushed crystalline components with bare hands. Sam was already calculating. "The cascade is unstable. We've got maybe 5 minutes before this section loses life support." "Then we move fast." O'Neill kicked his cell door. The damaged barrier collapsed. He grabbed a fallen Jaffa's staff weapon from the corridor outside. Guards had fled when explosions started. Teal'c freed Daniel, then moved to Deadpool's cell. Wade sat motionless, still wearing the suppression collar, still mortal. "Deadpool, we must move." Yeah, I know." He stood, wobbled. Being killable was disorienting. Every pain signal his brain usually ignored now mattered. Bruised ribs, strained muscles, the constant low-grade agony of existing without regeneration. Teal'c removed the collar with precise force. The device sparked, died. Nothing happened. Deadpool touched his split lip. It stayed split. "Oh no," Sam breathed. "The suppression technology, it might not be instantaneous. Your healing factor could take time to restart." "Great, fantastic, I'm playing on hard mode." Another explosion rocked the ship. The corridor tilted 15 degrees, gravity fluctuated. "Move now, contemplate later." O'Neill took point, staff weapon ready. They ran through corridors rapidly transforming into death trap. Hull breaches vented atmosphere into space. Emergency bulkheads slammed shut, sealing sections. Jaffa scattered in confusion, more concerned with evacuating than pursuing escaped prisoners. "The docking bay!" Sam checked her scanner. "It's 3 decks down, but the main lifts are offline. We'll have to use maintenance shafts." They found a shaft, descended rapidly using rungs that vibrated with the ship's death throes. Deadpool climbed one-handed, the other pressing his ribs where breathing hurt. "This is wildly different from my usual Tuesday," he gasped. "Keep moving." 2 decks down, they hit resistance. The maintenance shaft opened into a corridor, waiting for them. 20 Jaffa in full armor, led by a first prime whose helmet bore Baal's mark in gold. Behind them, energy barriers blocked the only route to the docking bay. "Tauri, you will not escape!" O'Neill didn't waste words. Staff weapon blazed. Teal'c fired simultaneously. Daniel and Sam added P90 fire, weapons they'd grabbed from fallen guards. Plasma and bullets filled the corridor. Deadpool had 1 katana, the other lost during capture. He charged anyway, mortal or not, because hesitation was death, and death was currently permanent. A Jaffa swung a staff weapon like a club. Deadpool ducked, katana slashing upward through the warrior's throat. Blood sprayed, hot, sticky, real in ways it never felt when he could just regenerate. Another Jaffa aimed for center mass. Deadpool twisted. The plasma bolt grazed his shoulder, burning through suit and skin. Pain exploded. He screamed, kept moving, drove his blade through the Jaffa's faceplate. "Deadpool, down!" Sam threw a grenade. He dropped. The explosion carved through the Jaffa formation. Shrapnel. Fire, smoke, bodies fell. The first prime survived, armor scorched but functional. He charged Teal'c, staff weapon meeting staff weapon in a clash of warriors who knew every technique, every counter. O'Neill flanked, but 3 more Jaffa intercepted. Daniel took a glancing staff blast to the leg, went down hard. "Daniel!" Sam dragged him behind cover. Deadpool saw his opening. The first prime's back was exposed, focused entirely on Teal'c. Wade ran, ignoring his burning shoulder, ignoring bruised ribs, ignoring every signal his brain screamed that said stop. His katana punched through the first prime's spine. The Jaffa seized, symbiote dying, host collapsing. Teal'c nodded once. Respect. "The docking bay! Go!" They sprinted through the breached energy barrier. The docking bay opened before them, massive, chaotic, burning. Death gliders attempted launches, while structural supports collapsed. Teal'c ships scrambled for escape. Their stolen cargo ship sat where they'd left it, miraculously intact. Almost there, almost. The air shimmered. Asgard transport beams materialized figures between SG-1 and their escape. Not Jaffa, something worse. Kull warriors, 7 feet tall, encased in black armor that drank light, impervious to staff weapons and bullets. Genetically engineered super soldiers created by Anubis, loaned to Baal for this specific purpose. Each warrior carried forearm weapons that projected disintegration beams. "Oh, come on!" Deadpool screamed. "Mini-bosses, now!" The Kull warriors opened fire. Disintegration beams carved through metal like tissue paper. SG-1 scattered, returning fire uselessly. Staff blasts bounced off Kull armor. P-90 rounds sparked and ricocheted. "Nothing's working!" Sam yelled. Teal'c grabbed a fallen energy pike, a weapon designed to penetrate Kull armor through resonance frequencies. He charged, pike crackling, drove it through a warrior's chest plate. The Kull convulsed, collapsed. 6 remained. O'Neill threw everything he had. Grenades, staff blasts, pure suppressing fire. Bought seconds, not enough. A Kull grabbed Daniel, lifted him one-handed. Forearm weapon charged for point-blank disintegration. Deadpool didn't think, couldn't think, just moved. He tackled Daniel free, took the disintegration beam center mass. Pain beyond description, molecular bonds breaking, cells dying faster than even a healing factor could repair. If he'd had a healing factor. He collapsed, gasping, half his torso gone. Everyone froze. Deadpool looked at the wound, saw organs, saw bone, saw death coming fast and permanent. "Well," he wheezed, blood bubbling from punctured lungs. "That's new." And then warmth. Deep in his cells, dormant systems roared back online. The suppression technology had finally degraded enough. His healing factor didn't restart. It exploded. Flesh knitted at visible speed, organs regenerated, bone reformed, skin sealed over catastrophic damage in 30 seconds. Deadpool stood, fully healed, eyes wild behind his mask. "Okay, now I'm mad." He grabbed the dead Kull's energy pike, charged the remaining warriors with fury that transcended sanity. Pike met armor. Kull warriors fell. Deadpool moved like violence personified, mortal terror transformed into immortal rage. 2 Kull remained, then 1, then none. He stood in the wreckage, chest heaving, covered in blood that wasn't his own. "Cargo ship, now, move!" They ran, boarded. Teal'c fired engines. The Teal'c launched as Baal's flagship tore itself apart. The Teal'c limped through space, hull scorched, engines sputtering. Behind them, Baal's flagship vented atmosphere and debris, a golden pyramid dying slowly in the void. The other 3 Hartak motherships hung distant, recalculating, scrambling to respond to chaos they hadn't anticipated. Inside the cargo hold, Daniel's leg was bandaged. Sam's burns were treated. O'Neill bled from a dozen places. Teal'c piloted with stoic focus despite cracked ribs. Deadpool sat against the bulkhead, regenerating the last of his injuries, watching flesh knit together. His healing factor was back, full strength, maybe stronger, like a muscle exercised to failure, rebuilt more resilient. "So," O'Neill said, breaking the silence, "that happened." "We just crippled a System Lord's flagship," Sam said, disbelief coloring her voice. "We actually did it. One ship." Teal'c's voice carried weight. 3 remain. Goa'uld will not forgive this insult." "Good," Deadpool said quietly. "I'm counting on it." Everyone turned to look at him. "Okay, real talk time." Deadpool stood, wincing through phantom pains his brain insisted should hurt. "We hurt Goa'uld," embarrassed him, made him look weak in front of every System Lord watching. "But we didn't end him. And guys, I've fought enough megalomaniac psychopaths to know wounded pride is more dangerous than confident power." "What are you suggesting?" Daniel asked. "I'm suggesting we stop playing defense, stop reacting, stop letting Golden Space Daddy dictate terms." Deadpool's voice was steel wrapped in comedy. "We take the fight to him, his fortress, his homeworld. We end this before he rebuilds, before he creates healing factor super soldiers, before he turns this into a protracted war Earth can't win." O'Neill studied him. "You're talking about a suicide mission." "I'm talking about the only mission. Goa'uld knows where Earth is, knows our capabilities, knows I exist. We can't unring that bell, so we either hide and wait for the hammer to fall, or we grab the hammer and beat him with it first." Sam pulled up star charts on a portable display. "Goa'uld's primary stronghold is on P3X-729. Massive fortress, orbital defenses, standing army of 10,000 Jaffa minimum. It's suicide even with your healing factor." "Then it's a good thing I brought friends." "Friends?" Daniel's eyebrows rose. "We're 4 humans, 1 Jaffa and you, against an empire." "Yeah, but I'm really annoying. That counts for a lot." Deadpool leaned over the star chart. "Look, I know the odds suck, but Goa'uld made this personal. He used Vanessa, or this universe's version of her, as a weapon against me. He threatened Earth. He tried to dissect me for parts. I don't do forgiveness well, and I do revenge excellently." Teal'c spoke without taking his eyes off the controls. "The Free Jaffa would aid us. Many chafe under Goa'uld's rule. A coordinated strike could inspire rebellion. The Tok'ra might help too," Sam added slowly. "Not with the serum deal, that's off the table. But strategically, they want Goa'uld gone as much as we do." O'Neill rubbed his face. "Hammond's gonna love this. Hey General, we want to invade a Goa'uld fortress world with minimal support and maximum crazy. Sign off, please?" "He'll say yes," Daniel said. "Because Deadpool's right. Waiting just gives Goa'uld time to prepare. We need to hit him while he's reeling." The radio crackled. "Teal'c vessel, this is Tok'ra High Council. Respond." Everyone tensed. Sam activated comms. "This is Major Samantha Carter, SG-1. Go ahead." "Major Carter, we detected the destruction of Goa'uld's flagship. Impressive work." The voice was smooth, measured, distinctly Tok'ra. "We wish to propose an alliance, not the one previously suggested. We acknowledge that was ethically compromised." "You think?" Deadpool shouted at the radio. "Who's speaking?" "The guy you wanted to vivisect. Hi, still mad about that?" A pause. "Deadpool, the immortal. Our intelligence was incomplete. We didn't understand the full implications of enabling Goa'uld's acquisition of your biology. For that, we apologize. Apology may be accepted if you help us blow up Goa'uld's house." Another pause. Longer. "Define blow up his house." O'Neill took over. "We're planning a strike on Goa'uld's fortress world, P3X-729, full assault. We need intelligence, tactical support, and any resources you can spare." "That's Ambitious. Suicidal, but ambitious. The Tok'ra voice shifted, became strategic. We can provide gate addresses to rally Free Jaffa forces, supply coordinates for Ba'al's orbital defense weaknesses, but we cannot send operatives directly. Our numbers are too depleted. Intel's enough, Sam said. We'll handle the rest. Very well. Transmitting data now. Major Carter, understand. If you fail, Ba'al will retaliate against Earth with overwhelming force. You'll have doomed your world. Then we don't fail, Deadpool said simply. The transmission ended. Data streamed into Sam's tablet. Gate addresses, defense grid schematics, patrol schedules, structural weaknesses in Ba'al's fortress. This is solid intelligence, Sam breathed, scrolling through. With this, we might actually have a chance. Might, Daniel emphasized. This is still insane. Most good plans are, O'Neill said. He looked at Deadpool. You sure about this? Once we commit, there's no backing out. Deadpool was quiet for a moment, really quiet. The jokes fell away, leaving something raw and honest. I've died 1,000 times in my universe. Cancer, experiments, fights I couldn't win, and every time I came back. But this? He gestured at the stars beyond the viewport. This isn't about me. It's about every person on Earth who doesn't get to regenerate when Goa'uld staff weapons carve through their homes. It's about making sure Ba'al doesn't get to weaponize what makes me special. And yeah, his voice dropped. It's about not letting Vanessa's sacrifice, whatever version of her exists here, be for nothing. Teal'c's voice rumbled with approval, spoken as a warrior. I'm really not, but thanks, big guy. O'Neill stood, checking his weapons. All right, we're doing this. Carter, coordinate with the Tok'ra. Daniel, start reaching out to Free Jaffa contacts. Teal'c, get us to the Alpha site. We'll need to resupply and brief Hammond. He looked at Deadpool. And you. You're about to become the most important weapon in this war. Hope you're ready. Deadpool drew his katanas, tested the weight. Oh, I'm ready. Let's go make a god bleed. P3X-729 burned under twin suns. Ba'al's fortress rose from black stone, a ziggurat of gold and obsidian bristling with staff cannons, surrounded by an army that could conquer star systems. From orbit, it looked impregnable. From the ground, it looked worse. This is the worst plan I've ever seen, the Free Jaffa commander, a scarred warrior named Ragnar, muttered. And I once watched Teal'c try to negotiate with Apophis using only interpretive dance. That was one time, Teal'c said. It failed spectacularly. They crouched in a canyon 2 clicks from the fortress. Around them, 300 Free Jaffa warriors, 2 Tok'ra operatives, SG-1 and Deadpool. Against them, 10,000 of Ba'al's elite guard, orbital defenses, and a system lord who very much wanted everyone here dead. The Tok'ra, Malak and Selmak, had provided the intelligence. The Free Jaffa had provided bodies. Earth had provided C4, determination, and 1 unkillable mercenary. Phase 1, O'Neill reviewed. We hit the orbital platforms with commandeered Al-Kesh bombers. Creates chaos, draws forces upward. Phase 2, ground assault on the main gate. Loud, obvious, maximum violence. Ba'al focuses everything there. Phase 3, Sam continued. Small insertion team uses the distraction to infiltrate through the waste reclamation system, reaches Ba'al's inner sanctum while he's focused on the frontal assault. Phase 4, Deadpool said cheerfully. I kill a god. Questions? Many, Ragnar said, starting with, are you insane? Clinically, moving on, Daniel pointed at the schematic. Ba'al's throne room has ancient technology embedded in the walls. We don't know what it does, but doesn't matter. Deadpool checked his katanas, his guns, the absurd amount of explosives strapped across his chest. Whatever it does, I'll heal through it. Selmak, speaking through her host Jacob Carter, looked worried. Ba'al knows you're coming. He's had 3 days to prepare. This could be a trap. Oh, it's definitely a trap, Deadpool agreed. But here's the thing about traps. They only work if you're afraid of dying. He stood, stared at the fortress, and for just a moment the jokes stopped entirely. I've spent years being unkillable and feeling dead inside. This is the first time in forever something actually matters. So yeah, trap or not, I'm walking in. Teal'c clasped his shoulder. Then you will not walk alone. O'Neill sighed. Why do I always end up following the crazy ones? Because you're secretly crazy too, Jack, Daniel said. Don't call me Jack. The Al-Kesh bombers launched first. 3 captured Goa'uld vessels, piloted by Free Jaffa, who knew they probably wouldn't return. They screamed toward orbit, weapons blazing, targeting the orbital platforms Ba'al had positioned to defend his fortress. Explosions lit space. Defense platforms returned fire. 1 Al-Kesh disintegrated in a bloom of plasma. The other 2 pressed forward, releasing payloads that crippled 2 platforms. Chaos. Perfect chaos. Now! Ragnar roared. 300 Free Jaffa charged the main gate. Staff weapons discharged in waves. Battle cries that echoed across the canyon. Warriors reclaiming honor, fighting false gods, dying free. Ba'al's forces poured from the fortress. Staff cannons swiveled, laying down devastating fire. Jaffa met Jaffa in brutal melee. Blood-soaked black stone. And while 10,000 eyes watched the main gate, 6 figures slipped through waste ducts beneath the fortress. The reclamation system stank of chemicals and decay. O'Neill, Carter, Daniel, Teal'c, Deadpool, and Malik crawled through corridors designed for refuse, not infiltration. Tight, dark, disgusting. This is exactly as terrible as I imagined, Daniel gasped. At least no one's shooting at us, Sam said. A staff blast punched through the wall, missing O'Neill by inches. You had to say it. Jaffa guards poured into the tunnels. Ba'al had known, had prepared. The waste system was a kill zone. Go, go, go! O'Neill fired blind, suppressing while the team ran. They emerged in a maintenance sub-level. Jaffa everywhere. The fortress's interior was a maze of golden halls and death. Deadpool took point, drawing fire, regenerating through wounds that would kill anyone else. Staff blast through the chest, healed, arm blown off, regrew while running. He carved through Jaffa like a crimson hurricane, buying seconds, buying distance. They fought upward, every level harder, every corridor more heavily defended. Malik fell first, staff blast to the face. The Tok'ra died instantly, symbiote and host both. Keep moving! Daniel took a blast to the side. Teal'c carried him, still firing. They reached the throne room level. Final defense. 20 Kull warriors in formation, impervious to conventional weapons. I'm out of ideas, O'Neill panted. I'm not. Deadpool pulled a device from his belt. Ancient technology stolen from the SGC armory. Completely unauthorized. Probably catastrophic. Is that a Naquada reactor? Sam's eyes went wide. Yep. Overloaded to critical mass. Set for 30-second detonation. He threw it into the Kull formation. Run! They dove through side corridors as the reactor detonated. Energy ripped through the fortress level. Kull warriors vaporized. Walls collapsed. The throne room doors blew open. Ba'al waited inside. He stood before a throne of gold, flanked by personal guards, wearing full System Lord regalia. His eyes glowed with rage and power. You dare! Deadpool shot him. Just shot him, right in the face. Ba'al's head snapped back. The symbiote forced healing. He straightened, fury incarnate. Insolent! Deadpool shot him again, and again, and again, emptied both pistols into the System Lord's face while walking forward. You know what your problem is, B-Man? Deadpool drew his katanas as Ba'al's guards charged. You talk too much. The throne room became a slaughterhouse. SG-1 fought the guards. Deadpool fought Baal. System Lord versus immortal mercenary. Staff weapon against katanas. Power against persistence. Baal was stronger, faster, enhanced by symbiote strength. But Deadpool couldn't die. Every wound healed. Every killing blow recovered from. Deadpool pressed forward through pain that would break normal men. Through damage that should end consciousness. Through sheer will. His katana found Baal's throat. Drove through. Severed spine and symbiote both. Baal collapsed, dying, eyes fading. "Impossible," he wheezed. "Very possible," Deadpool said. "You lose." The System Lord died. The fortress shook as Baal's death rippled through the Goa'uld command structure. Jaffa hesitated mid-battle. System Lord clones across the galaxy felt the primary Baal's consciousness extinguish. The Free Jaffa pressed their advantage, sensing victory. Deadpool stood over Baal's corpse, breathing hard, katanas dripping gold-tinged blood. Around him, the throne room fell silent. The personal guards lay dead. SG-1 remained standing, battered, bleeding, but alive. "Is it done?" Daniel asked, clutching his wounded side. "Not yet." Sam was already at the ancient console embedded in the throne room wall. Her fingers flew across crystalline interfaces, accessing systems that predated the Goa'uld by millennia. This technology, it's a communication relay. Baal was using it to coordinate with his clones, his fleet, his entire empire. "Can you shut it down?" O'Neill demanded. "Better. I can broadcast." Sam's eyes gleamed with tactical brilliance. "Every Goa'uld listening will hear, every Jaffa, every Tok'ra, every world under Baal's control." Teal'c understood immediately. "You will show them their god has fallen." "Exactly." She activated the relay. Holographic projectors flared to life, capturing the throne room in perfect detail. Baal's corpse. The devastation. The victorious Tauri standing over a dead System Lord. "This is Major Samantha Carter of Earth, Stargate Command. Baal is dead. The fortress is ours. And to every Jaffa still serving false gods, your chains are broken. You are free." The broadcast transmitted across the gate network. Millions would see. Rebellions would ignite. The Goa'uld Empire would fracture further. An explosion rocked the fortress. Different from before, deeper, structural. Guys?" Deadpool pointed at control panels, sparking, failing. "I'm no engineer, but that looks bad." Sam's face went pale. The Naquada reactor detonation destabilized the fortress's power core. It's cascading through the entire structure. "We have maybe 5 minutes before this whole place goes critical. Then we leave," O'Neill said. "Now." They ran. The fortress collapsed around them. Ceilings caved. Corridors buckled. Energy conduits exploded in showers of sparks. Outside, Free Jaffa forces were evacuating through the Stargate, sensing the imminent catastrophe. "There!" Teal'c spotted the gate plaza through a collapsed wall. The Stargate stood active, destination already dialed. SGC, home, safety. They sprinted across the plaza. Jaffa scattered. Deadpool grabbed Daniel, practically carried him when his wounded leg gave out. 50 meters, 30, 20. A figure materialized in front of the Stargate. Katesh, Vanessa, the woman Baal had enslaved. Her eyes glowed with symbiote power, but something was different. Wrong. The Goa'uld's usual arrogance was absent. In its place, desperation. "Please," she said, just that. "Please." Deadpool stopped. Everyone stopped. "The host," Katesh continued, voice breaking. "She's dying. Baal's death severed the control network. The symbiote is failing. And she, the woman Vanessa, she's begging me, begging to be freed before we both die in this collapse." "Then leave her," Sam said. "Exit the host. Save yourself." "I cannot." Katesh's face twisted with something that looked like genuine anguish. "Baal engineered me, bound me to this host. If I leave, we both die. If I stay, We both die. There is no escape. Deadpool stepped forward. Slowly, katanas sheathed. You're asking me to mercy kill you. I'm asking you to free her. She shows me memories of you. A different universe, a different life, but the same soul. She loved you there, loves you still, across dimensional barriers that shouldn't allow such recognition. Kitesh's eyes dimmed, and for a moment only human brown remained. Please, Wade, don't let me die as a slave. The fortress groaned. 30 seconds, maybe less. Deadpool looked at O'Neill, at Teal'c, at Sam. Each face reflected the same impossible choice. He drew one katana. Close your eyes, he whispered. Thank you. The blade was quick, clean, merciful. Kitesh, Vanessa, whoever she had been, fell. The symbiote died instantly. The host followed seconds later, finally free. Go! Deadpool roared. They dove through the Stargate as the fortress exploded behind them. The wormhole collapsed. The event horizon vanished. SGC's embarkation room materialized around them. Alarms silent. Medical teams rushing forward. Hammond descending the stairs with controlled urgency. Report! Goa'uld is dead, O'Neill said. The fortress is destroyed. Free Jaffa are spreading the word across the gate network. Sir, we actually did it. Hammond allowed himself the smallest smile. Well done, Colonel. All of you. Medical teams swarmed Daniel, treating his wounds. Sam was already debriefing analysts. Teal'c stood at attention, reporting Jaffa casualties and strategic implications, and Deadpool stood alone on the gate ramp, staring at his blood-stained katana. Hey, O'Neill approached. You good? Define good. Fair point. O'Neill was quiet for a moment. You made the right call. She asked for freedom. You gave it. Doesn't make it easier. Never does. Hammond cleared his throat. Deadpool, Wade Wilson, you've proven yourself an asset to this command. We'd like to offer you a position. Consultant, off-books operative, SGC's secret weapon for situations too insane for standard protocol. Deadpool looked at the Stargate, at the team who'd fought beside him, at the universe that had become unexpectedly meaningful. You guys have dental? Best in the galaxy, Sam said, smiling. And unlimited ammo? Within reason, O'Neill added. And tacos? Please tell me this universe has tacos. We'll get you tacos, Daniel promised. Deadpool holstered his katana, extended his hand to Hammond. Then you've got yourself a mercenary, General. But I work freelance. I don't follow every order, and I definitely don't do paperwork. Hammond shook his hand. I wouldn't expect anything less. Over the following weeks, word spread through the galaxy. Goa'uld's clones scrambled to maintain control. Free Jaffa rebellions erupted on dozens of worlds. The Tok'ra gained strategic advantages. Earth's reputation grew. The Tauri who killed a system lord. And Deadpool? He became legend. The unkillable warrior who walked between worlds, who fought gods and won, who brought chaos wherever the Stargate sent him. He stood in his new quarters, small, utilitarian, covered in weapons and pop culture references this universe didn't understand yet, and looked at a photo they'd recovered from Goa'uld's database. Vanessa, this universe's version, smiling, before the Goa'uld took everything. Rest easy, he whispered. You're free now. Tomorrow, another gate would activate, another mission, another world needing the Merc with a mouth. But tonight, he'd earned the rest. 3 months passed. Deadpool became SGC's most effective and most irritating operative simultaneously. He disrupted Goa'uld supply lines, rescued enslaved populations, and left a trail of explosions and fourth-wall breaks across the galaxy. The System Lords learned to fear the red-suited immortal who couldn't be stopped, couldn't be reasoned with, and couldn't stop talking. SG-1 became something unexpected. Friends. O'Neill appreciated his tactical chaos. Sam studied his regeneration with scientific fascination he reluctantly allowed. Daniel debated philosophy during downtime. Teal'c taught him Jaffa combat techniques. Though Deadpool's style remained beautifully unpredictable, the multiverse remained mysterious. No pathway home appeared. But Deadpool discovered something profound. Home wasn't always a place. Sometimes it was a team, a mission, a purpose. He stood before the Stargate one evening, alone, watching the inactive ring. "Hey," he said to the fourth wall, "to you. Bet you thought I'd want to go back. Maybe I will someday. But right now there are false gods to topple, people to save, and an entire galaxy that needs someone crazy enough to fight impossible odds." He grinned beneath his mask. "Besides, this universe has the best explosions." The Stargate activated. Another mission, another world, another chance to make a difference. Deadpool stepped through, laughing. New worlds await. More stories soon.